Hey, what's up guys? Professor Tom. We're going to have a look today at the knee slice passing combination. Not just one knee slice. We've got to give you 3 to 4 moves from the knee slice, so no matter what your partner does, you're going to get past that guard with one of the easiest and most common guard passes in the gi or no gi. Let's take a look. Hey, what's up guys? Professor Tom. I'm here today with purple belt student of mine, Pete. We're going to have a look at the knee slice pass. You've probably all heard of the knee slice pass. Some Brazilians call this the knee ride pass. It can be a bit confusing. However, we all know what it is. More or less, I walk into his guard and I'll slide my lead knee through and I end up in a side control position. So let's have a look at that basic one first. Just make sure we're all on the same page. Ultimately, this pass is about starting from a good position. So don't try to knee slice from here. You just won't get it against good guys. You want to start coming in, okay? So let's have a look at what I did there and certainly what I didn't do. I'm compact. I don't want to give him places to put his feet. The worst approach for a knee slice pass would be something that would look like this. So he could just grab grips on me and play spider or any leg entanglements he wants. That would be the worst pass because he can use his strong limbs to stop my body and momentum. So let's have a look at the entrance, the starting point, because that's probably the most important thing. From here, I'll normally control the legs as I go right leg in, left leg out. That's what most people like to do because they're right-handed, right-footed. So as I control the legs here, now that I've gained space on him, ultimately he will try to get that space back at a higher level. So I'm going to attach with the lapel. Now, notice if I grab a lapel like this, it's very vulnerable. I have to minimize this space. So as I move in, I attach it and I hide it inside my hip here. Okay? So notice all of my limbs are all really bent and tight. And now I make a horizontal movement. Okay? So I've crashed in and now I'm going to move horizontally about 8 inches. Here. So what that does is use this lever to get Pete on this side. So I put all of my weight through here and then I translate it left. Only now can I go for this pass, but this is where everything goes wrong. Let's pay close attention to my 2 hands and their jobs. Sleeve, elbow on the hip. Okay? Some of you tall guys couldn't even put your elbow to the ground. But if you're not tall and heavy enough, be careful putting your hips on his hips because he can now roll you, right? Explosive guy can get the roll, all right? So personally, even though I'm 220, 6'4", I still choose to do it like this. Elbow on the hip. I must stop him turning to me. If I don't, he could get my back or at least get to his knees as I did this pass, okay? That's not good. So, enter, sideways, pin the hip, okay? So I've controlled this box on the hip, bottom left corner. Now I do the top right corner with his sleeve. As I pull up, I drive my knee through. So I lift his sleeve up like a deadlift. And notice my hip is on his hip now. But this isn't the end. Pete will always try to turn into me and frame me. So what I must do is punch this across and get my belly behind it so I start taking this armpit, upper back real estate. Now from this position, I've got his collar, I've got his hip, I've got his crossface. From here, he's done. I can transition straight into armbar finishes, but ultimately, I have my pass. So one last time on the basic knee slice pass. I'm here. 1, 2, hip to hip. Push on over. Okay, you've got him really secure here. So that's our basic knee slice pass. But the fact is, guys, you get real good at that and your partners are going to start to see what's going on. So let's have a look at 3 quick additions to this pass that are going to really transform your results. Number 1, I'm trying to slice this way, but the guy won't let me in close enough. And this knee starts winging up. Okay? So when that happens, we can do this. I'm here, he's sort of pushing me away, keeping that knee up. I can't get what I want, which is in and across. So I go back and around. I can't get in and across. Notice me right donkey kicking back as my left hand stiff arms across. Now my right foot comes right to his belt and hides his belt here while I get my pin. Notice how I'm pinning him on the shoulder and using that lapel to pin his far armpit, okay? So this is a wonderful pass. I love this pass combination. I'm here, I can't get in and across, so I just get down, okay? So once I've got that knee ride, it's really effective. If he fears this pass and I come back and he opens his knee again, well then I can always just come here for my basic knee slice pass. So that's option 2. But guys, let's have a look at option 3. Sometimes you're here with Pete, but you can't beat this leg. So sometimes it's a problem of angle and Pete moves. Let's demonstrate this. I come in here to do my fancy stuff and now Pete's head goes over there. So he's bringing this leg back in front of me. Ultimately, the structure of his femur is stopping my knee slice. So anytime I crash in and he's expecting that, I do start to expect Pete to turn to the left. Because ultimately, this is what Pete's hips do for the knee slice pass. That's what I want. So he knows that if he does something like this, he can stop it. So the first one is if my knee can't go left because he's blocking, okay, my knee will go right and pin, okay? So my foot is still on the ground, my toes are on the ground, my knees are on the ground. From this position, keep your attachment and we can get ready to pass to this side. So let's have a look at our 2 main passes from here. If we leg staple, and that's what I call this, if we staple his leg, I can go under the leg, under the head, back step, and now I use this femur as a lever to push him across, keeping my head close to his head. If I keep it close here, he could get me in the triangle, okay? So no one likes those reverse triangles. So I'm here, I'm trying to go left, but look at that knee. So instead, I go right, and I knee staple, holding him in tight, otherwise he'll hip escape. And now I can come under the leg, under the head, back step, and now I power off my left foot to drive my left hand, but I must keep my head close to his head. Keep this down here, he'll get that reverse. Okay, so that's option 3, but there's an option 4. Sometimes I'm so close to that pass, but he holds onto my foot, okay? So when he holds onto my foot, like this, okay, and I'm here, say, like this, and I just can't get it out. So let's have a look first how Pete will hold my foot. He could be holding it like a De La Riva, like he just did that, with a hand. But he can also hold like a thigh master, like at the gym, you know, like this. And sometimes they just got your foot. And especially if you've got a knee injury, sometimes having your foot caught and your knee out can really be troublesome and potentially injurious. So let's have a look at a quick knee switch transition. So I'm here, I'm feeling all good, I'm doing the pass, and then he's like, got me here. You gotta be careful, because if I'm here, although there are many counters, including back steps and stuff like that, ultimately, if I'm caught here, my knee is a little bit at risk, but look at Pete's body. Pete's already on his side, so it's not a massive ask of him to bump me forward, get an underhook, and get to his knees. So if he bumps me forward, gets an underhook, gets to his knees, he's gonna be putting me on my back, okay? So what I wanna do, anytime my foot's caught, is I'm gonna up the ante. And instead of going for a 3-point guard pass, I'm gonna go for a 7-point move, which is gonna be the guard pass to the 4-point mount. So as I'm here, Pete holds onto my foot, especially if you've got a big foot like me, it can be a little bit annoying. Let's have a look at what I do. I can still hold this as a lever. I pace my knee to the other side and I bring my left leg in tight. Okay, so now we have a 3-quarter mount, or what some people call a quarter guard. Okay, guys, ultimately understand this. If someone has you like this, okay, you just flatten out their upper body. You can put your hip forward, loop your toes in, and now jackhammer your foot out. That's very effective. Now I'll keep pacing that down to get my feet in position. However, there are other ways, and this is my favorite way. His body's twisted right now. The more twisted, the more weak. So I'm gonna help him twist. Watch my right arm. Goes over the top of his hands and under his head. So now I can do 2 things from here. I can crawl my hand and make him face upright, which will weaken this grip and start letting me pull this out. If I need to use my other foot, I can, here, okay? But I don't like to do that, because to me, you holding my foot matters little. You know, if we're fighting right now, you holding my foot doesn't really mean much. What I don't want to do is let that turn into a move. So instead of worrying about his quarter guard, I'm going to make him think of my 3/4 mount, and I'm going to do it with the Ezekiel choke. So as he turns and he starts working on my hips and everything, I come under here. Now, watch. The hand that's under Pete's head will go into my sleeve, punching knuckles deep, not finger knuckles, like the punching knuckles. And now I come over here onto his neck. Okay? Although I can easily finish the choke from here, what I really want to do is I'll slide my knee up, pull Pete on top of me, get my hook in, and now go for my choke. Because worst case scenario now, I'm going to have his back. Okay? So let's have a look at that last one. Again, I knee slice, he holds onto my foot. Hold the elbow, switch sides. Come over the top, hand in, and I do like this. Kung Fu Panther death chisel fist. Slide my left knee up, pull him. Now my quarter guard becomes a hook. And now I've got a very strong Ezekiel choke. If you want to let the Ezekiel go, just shoot your right hand through to the rear naked. Again, make sure you've got this combination. Watch, fingers out and in. And then you've just got the plain rear naked pulling that elbow. So there you go, guys, 4 passes, all from the knee slice. Get a good knee slice. All those other 3, the secondary 3, come from the first primary pass. Get a solid knee slice pass. There's no good black belts out there that I've ever met and rolled with that aren't good at knee slices. You need to know knee slice. You need to know how to deal with it, but here's 4 ways that you can make your partner deal with yours. Have fun, happy knee slicing. Don't forget, guys, you can follow me on Instagram under Tom Davey BJJ, and don't forget to check out thegrapplingacademy.com. We've got free stuff, we've got full courses. I hope you guys have fun and enjoyed the video. I'm Professor Tom. I'll see you guys next time.